Peace and blessings, y'all, in this corner box in 24. Good evening, good evening. How's everyone doing this evening? Hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing pretty good on this side as always. God is great. God is good. And I can't complain. I can't complain. So, yes, sir. In this corner box in 24. December 31st, 2022. Getting ready to embark, God willing, on another year, 2023. And hoping to take my channel and what I love doing, which is talking about boxing, giving my insight on boxing, talking to fighters, talking to trainers, hoping to take us to a great level, another level next year with my channel. I thank everybody for your support, everybody that has subscribed to me, and I'm going to keep asking for your support and your subscriptions and your comments to help me to keep growing, because your comments help me to get better, at what I'm doing and what I'm learning, and I really appreciate it. So what I want to talk about, pardon me, what I want to talk about this evening is a trainer who I really like, have a lot of respect for, and that's Breadman. And Breadman, if anybody know who Breadman is, Stephen Breadman is a trainer, used to be the trainer of Julian Williams, the 154-pound, former 154-pound champion. And he now is training Caleb Plant at 168. So he had some comments. He was asking questions about Caleb Plant and his upcoming fight next year with David Benavidez. And he answered some questions about Caleb Plant, because of course David Benavidez is very local about how he feels about Caleb Plant. And when Caleb Plant was going through his back and forth with Canelo, a lot of people was looking at Canelo like he was, like it was Canelo was the issue, Canelo was the problem, and Caleb Plant was justified in how he was talking about him. And you could tell Caleb Plant is an instigator and a manipulator and sort of like a troublemaker, right? Because he was really trying to get under Canelo's skin, but yet, well, you don't have to do all of that, man. You needed that fight for your legacy. Canelo didn't really need it. And then you get into the fight with him, and you had your moments, you had your rounds, but you got stopped. You don't deserve a rematch when you get stopped like that, okay? Not to me. When you get knocked out, when you get stopped, TKO, KO, I don't think you deserve a rematch. That's just me, though, and I could be wrong about that. But I don't see where it's going to be different if you fight Canelo. We're not going to trip off of what happened with Dimitri Bivol, because Dimitri Bivol is a big 175-pound champion. And at the end of the day, Canelo came from 147, 154, 160, 168, undisputed, and went up to 175. So he tried and he failed, okay? But Caleb Plant, that's not you. You're not Dimitri Bivol. You know what I'm saying? Your fight game ain't like his, all right? He was able to do that. You wasn't. So now we're talking about David Benavidez. And so Stephen Breadman was responding to some of the comments that David Benavidez said, and something I've always believed, that Caleb Plant never wanted to fight David Benavidez. It seems like he has the heart now to fight him after stopping a former fighter that David Benavidez already beat a couple of years ago. He beat Anthony Durrell, stopped him, right? So now you stop him, and now you got the heart to fight David Benavidez. But you could have been for David Benavidez. That's really the only fight you should have been trying to get. I don't have a problem with you trying to get Canelo, but if anybody deserved the Canelo fight, it was David Benavidez. You happened to get it though, and then you lost. But you could have fought David Benavidez before Canelo, way before Canelo. You could have fought Demetrius Andre. You had fights you could have fought. But David Benavidez been calling you out, and you didn't fight him and didn't want to fight him. But now that you beat Durrell, now and you stopped him, now it's like you got all this power, and now you want David Benavidez. So Stephen Breadman being his trainer, and I get it. I like Breadman, but I'm not going to always agree with him. And so now that he's his trainer, don't be surprised Caleb Plant does this. Don't be surprised if Caleb Plant does that. Come on, man. And then he's trying to justify saying that Caleb Plant, no, it wasn't Caleb Plant wasn't ducking David Benavidez, was running from him. He's always wanted to fight him. He told him after the fight with Anthony Durrell that he wanted to fight David Benavidez. Exactly. You just answered your own question and the skepticism that people had. Skepticism that people had. Pardon me. He said it now that he want to fight David Benavidez. He wasn't saying that before because he's feeling now that he could beat him for whatever reason. And probably a lot of it has to do with you being a trainer. You giving him some kind of confidence, and that's all right. At the end of the day, he's still got to go in there and fight. And David Benavidez is saying he's going to punish Caleb Plant, and I believe it. I believe he's going to punish him. Okay? Caleb Plant is a good boxer, but David Benavidez is a good boxer. And he's taller, and he's longer, and he could take a punch. And he's going to be dropping some shots on Caleb Plant. He's going to cut the ring off for him. So that's what I believe. Okay, so when you say Stephen Breadman, that Caleb Plant, it wasn't about him not wanting to fight. Absolutely it was, because he could have been for David Benavidez. He was, it's no excuse. So now that you're his trainer, tell the truth. And if you don't want to say it publicly, then don't say anything. If you ask that question, just say, I don't know, because you say that sometimes, well, I don't know, I want to speak on this. Like you said, you don't want to speak on the purses of David Benavidez and Caleb Plant, but they're not making a whole lot of money for the fight. You was honest about that. Maybe they're not going to make a whole lot of money. They're not going to make no $10 million and all that. Okay, fine. But you got to keep it real, man, that Caleb Plant never wanted to fight David Benavidez. Benavidez said he was forced. He's being forced to fight me. I absolutely concur with that. He's being forced to fight him because who else is he going to fight? He has to fight David Benavidez now. There's nowhere else for him to go. He got cornered. Okay? So that's just what it is. Tell the truth. It is what it is. Boxing is X and O's. It's this or it's that. If it looks like this, that's what it is. If you heard this, that's what was said. Whenever you got a man that's calling you out, berating you, dogging you, begging you damn near for a fight because he can't get the other fighter that he wants, Canelo, and you don't answer and say, yo, man, after Canelo, it's on. You never even said that. And I really believe, in my opinion, if he didn't stop Durrell, and if it was a closer fight, he still would be trying to run from David Benavidez. That's just my opinion, right? I don't think he would have been calling him out. But we're going to see. The fight is slated for next year. We're going to see what happens. Okay? Because next year is right here. It's a few hours away. Close. So we're going to see. Peace and blessings, y'all. And that's Corner Boxing 24. Please subscribe to the page. Please leave a comment. Everybody bring in the new year safely. Be careful out there. A lot of people want to drink and drive. Man, don't drink and drive. Take a cab, take an Uber. Let somebody drive you that doesn't drink. Don't put other people's lives in jeopardy and your own. It's not fair. If you want to jeopardize your own life, then do that on your own terms. But don't put somebody else's life in jeopardy because you want to drink and drive. Drinking and driving is a no-no. Okay? And if you get caught, it's going to ruin your life. So drink responsibly, as they say. Peace and blessings.